So, let's dive into something pretty powerful, a new blueprint for our future. It's called conscious collaboration, and honestly, it's a whole new way of thinking about how we can work together.
You've seen it, I've seen it, we've all seen it. When you look at the huge challenges we're facing, climate change, inequality, you name it, it's not like we're short on brilliant people or good intentions, but somehow we still get stuck. So it really makes you wonder, right? Are we missing something fundamental here?
And what if the problem isn't our vision? What if it's not our goals at all? Maybe the real issue is just the way we've always done things. These old, outdated habits of collaboration that just aren't cutting it anymore. Not for us and not for the planet. All right, so before we can really get into the solution, we got to get our hands dirty and figure out what the problem actually is. Let's break down this collaboration crisis. If you look at how things often work right now, it's all built on competition and protecting our own tribe, whether that's our company, our country, or our political party. This whole system is basically fueled by ego and a constant what's in it for me or what's in it for us mentality. It pushes us towards short-term wins instead of long-term health for everybody, and it's all rooted in these old habits that are just really, really hard to break.
But what if there's a totally different way to do this? And that brings us right to the heart of this whole idea, a completely new playbook for working together.
Okay, so what is conscious collaboration? Well, at its core, it's a process where we intentionally decide to move beyond those ego-driven us versus them dynamics. It's about making a conscious shift to work from a place of shared purpose, where the number one goal is the sustainable health of the entire planet.
And you can really see the difference here. We're literally flipping the script. We go from asking, what's in it for us, to asking, what's best for the whole. Instead of being competitive and divided, we become co-creative. And, we rise above all that old baggage. The driving force is no longer just blind ambition, it's a deep set of shared values that can spark truly new, innovative solutions.
Okay, that sounds great in theory, but how do we actually pull it off? Well, it's not just wishful thinking. It's built on a solid foundation of some really clear, synergistic principles.
Yeah. This new way of working isn't just some vague concept. It's a real practice, and it's held up by these foundational pillars. And when they all work together, that's when you get real synergy.
So it all starts with a shared purpose, making sure everyone is rowing in the same direction. Then you've got active listening, which is about more than just hearing. It's about genuine empathy and trying to understand different points of view. From there, you build trust and psychological safety. You have to create that safe space where people feel they can be open and honest without fear. And this next one is absolutely crucial: inclusivity and diversity, which means making sure all voices are heard, especially those that have been historically marginalized, like women and young people. And finally, when you get all of that right, you unlock collective intelligence. You start tapping into the wisdom of the whole group to find answers that no single person could have come up with alone.
Right, so if you're going to change how the team plays, you also need a new kind of coach. This new way of collaborating, well, it demands a new way of leading. Now, the name for this is Synergistic Symbiotic Collaborative Leadership. It's a bit of a mouthful, I know, but the idea behind it is actually pretty simple. It's leadership modeled on nature. Think about how ecosystems work. It's all about these relationships where everyone benefits, these symbiotic connections. That's the goal here. It's a huge shift away from just taking and extracting and moving towards regenerating and helping everything flourish together.
So the role of a leader completely transforms. They aren't the commander at the top just shouting orders anymore. Instead, they become catalysts who spark new ideas. They're facilitators who guide conversations, unifiers who bring people together. And they are both teachers and students, always learning and integrating new perspectives.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? But here's the million-dollar question. How on earth do you make this work on a global scale? That's where technology steps in as a seriously powerful accelerator.
And there's actually a specific tool designed for this. It's called the Synergy Engine. It's part of a bigger platform known as Phoenix, and let me tell you, this isn't just your standard AI. It's been built for a very, very specific mission.
See, its job isn't to take over and do the collaborating for us. No way. It's designed to augment us. Think of it more like a wise guide or a digital facilitator. Its whole purpose is to help deepen our human connection and pull together our collective wisdom, but on a massive scale. So here's a peek at how it actually works. First up, the AI helps facilitate really deep, empathetic conversations. Next, it keeps everyone focused, guiding the group toward those shared sustainability goals. Then, and this is key, it uses tech like blockchain to build a foundation of verifiable trust and transparency. And finally, it takes all of those amazing inputs and synthesizes them, supercharging the group's collective intelligence for better, wiser decisions.
So where is this all headed? What's the end game here? What is the ultimate vision?
The goal, really, is a future where all of humanity can work as one unified team. It's about moving past all the things that divide us, all those tribal lines, and focusing on what we all share, this planet and the responsibility to keep it healthy. And that's the real promise here. This is what we get. We're talking about global unification that goes beyond those old identities. We're talking about creating truly sustainable economic models and using our collective smarts to solve our biggest crises. It's all about realigning what we do with how the planet actually works, to make sure there's a thriving future for every generation to come.
And that leaves us with one last big idea to chew on. We're always so focused on the next big tech breakthrough, right? But what if our greatest evolution isn't technological at all? What if it's collaborative? What if the next giant leap for humankind isn't about what we invent, but about how we invent it, together?